Coach, must be very frustrating with the result. Where does Bangladesh go from here?
Yeah, very frustrating. We really felt targeted this sort of game as 2 points, and I know that Sri Lanka would have fought very hard and no push-overs at all, but we do see it as 1 point lost, and that's disappointing. But realistically, what can we do about it? Absolutely nothing. And now all we can do is win our games coming up one at a time, and just think of that, which is the next game's West Indies, and try and win that, and then win the next one after that. That's all we can do. It's out of our control the way the weather is.
Steve, what about Shakib's situation now?
Yeah, so he picked up a little injury, as you all saw, in that game against England. He fought on and battled on and played extremely well with an injury. We're very, very optimistic that the treatment that he'll get this week and the way he can recover well, we're very optimistic that he can play in that next game against the West Indies.
Steve, would you like to see reserve days built into the schedule?
Yeah, I would. I think it's. I think when you look, if you know the English weather, sadly we're going to get a lot of rain. We never know when the rain's going to come. People from all over the world keep asking me whether it's going to rain. I don't know, but at the moment we're seeing some problems, and I know logistically it would have been a big headache for the tournament organisers, and I know that it would have been difficult, but we have got quite a lot of time in between games, and if we have got to travel a day later, then so be it. We put men on the moon. So why can't we have a reserve day when actually this tournament is a long tournament? They're spread out the games, so I would say that it's disappointing for the crowd as well. They've got tickets to see a game of cricket, and you know, it would be up to them if they can get there the day after.
Steve, you've obviously said that you've got West Indies next. They've come out in the first two games and bowled a lot of short stuff. Are you expecting that, and how do your boys plan to combat that?
Well, the answer is yes, definitely. Of course, we've all seen what they've done, but not just the West Indies. There's a lot of the other teams as well. England have shown that sort of potency or attack method in this World Cup so far. We've got certain ways of dealing with that. I'm very, very happy with the way we play the white ball, particularly when it's short. I think you've seen some of our games, and particularly against South Africa, that didn't worry us. I think the England game with the likes of Archer, well, he's quite a special pace, difficult to pick up as well. So we've played against the West Indies bowlers recently as well, out in Ireland. Certainly O'Shane Thomas as well, when we played against him in Bangladesh just before Christmas. So we're well aware of what they've got, and we know what's coming, and we've got some plans to try and deal with that.
Coach, as you said, you have played West Indies in Ireland, also in home. So what do you reckon will be the major challenge against West Indies? Is stopping their explosive batsmen or facing their short balls?
I think a lot depends. You know, one of their most explosive players is Andre Russell, and he's a formidable opponent. He's one of the best hitters in the game by far, and on his day he can be very, very difficult to bowl at. So he can take a game away from you, but they have others. Like all these international teams, we respect the opposition, and but we're very pleased with the way we play the white ball, and we know we've got some good players ourselves. So we won't be worrying too much about who we're playing against, and we'll be hopeful that they're going to worry about some of our players.
Steve, you got most of the teams they're using wrist spinners to the middle overs, but you've got two finger spinners that you're depending heavily on. So what would you like attribute that to? You know, the fact that they're world class.
Yeah. So if we had a very good wrist spinner, in Bangladesh, I'm pretty sure he would be here. But we don't pick people just for the sake of it. You've just mentioned there, these are your quotes, that the two finger spinners we have are excellent and top quality. I'd very much rather go into games with top quality bowlers than maybe somebody who's substandard, not quite up to that level, but a wrist spinner. Some of the teams have not always been playing a wrist spinner. They've had one in New Zealand is a good example of that. So you play your best 11. You play your best 11 for that game, those conditions. And with us, it's finger spinners. And they're good finger spinners, and we're very confident about their abilities and what they can do.
This is a question of the tournament in general. There were lots of talk pre-tournament about 350 and 400. That's not quite happened. Will it change after this weather? And do you see toss playing a part as we go on?
Okay, so I think that without giving away maybe some of the advantages I bring to Bangladesh, knowing the conditions and the country very well for cricket, but some of the boundaries are a bit bigger than expected. And I think that's something to do with the boundary boards not moving. There's the electrical boundary boards, and it takes a lot of work to move them around for the various pitches. So that's the reason you're seeing bigger outfields, so bigger hits for 6, and also maybe less 4s because there's more 2s and 3s run. That's one of the reasons. The weather plays its part as well, because this weather can slow outfields down, and the one thing that everybody expected in England was fast outfields. Now they come about in a good spell of weather. So the runs will increase as the weather improves. If it does improve, the runs will get bigger and bigger. As far as the toss, I don't think it'll have a great deal of effect. We're getting a little bit later in the summer now, and the white ball, the white kookaburra, does not nip around as much as the red ones do in England. So whilst you may have a bit of movement if it's been, for example, under covers all the day before, sweating up, but not a lot. And it's more to do with outfields and size of grounds why they've been a little bit less runs scored. But I've actually enjoyed that, because I think it makes for a wonderful game of cricket. It brings the bowlers and the fielding side back into the game more. And actually, if you love your cricket, there's a bit of a game of chess going on out there rather than just biff, which I particularly enjoy as a lover of the game. Thank you. Thanks a lot.